Let Me Go is definitely an unpredictable and one of the most challenging Casey Watson books to read. This is one of her foster care memoirs. It was released originally in 2020. I read it, I believe, in 2020, and then I reread it again just now, and I found it to be very challenging to read because I find it to be quite triggering. I think, depending on your background, there will probably be at least one foster care memoir that each individual finds triggering, and for me, it's definitely Let Me Go. Let Me Go is about a young girl called Harley. She's 13 years old and she ends up staying with Casey because her mother is unable to keep her safe because she keeps trying to take her own life. But at the hospital, nobody can find any medical reason for this. There's no diagnosable condition. There's no mental health condition that they can diagnose. So there's no real help for her. And this really frustrated me. And on the one hand, I completely understand it. They need to use their limited resources to help people with diagnosed conditions. But at the same time, just because you don't fit a textbook explanation, that means you're not allowed help. And that's really difficult to read and to come to terms with. And yeah, as I said, I can understand it. Resources are stretched, so you're going to help the people who you think you can help. But it means that even somebody who's 13 years old is not going to get the help that she needs. And it becomes quite apparent that she's not taking these threats to her own life seriously. For example, she'll try and take her life or do something that harms her, but in a way that means that she's probably gonna be saved. They're cries for help, but at the same time, I don't like that term because if somebody is doing a cry for help, it means they need help. So who cares if they're crying out for help? Listen to them and give them help. Maybe not the help that they think they need or even the help that they want, but it is needed in some form. And Casey really struggles to try and keep Harley safe. It's also really difficult because Harley's just not a likable character. She's not a likable person. She's got a terrible attitude. She not that I'm saying she deserves to feel that way because that would be ridiculous, but it's also difficult to read because she's horrible and I don't really want her staying with Casey and I don't want her to be taking the placement of a child who actually wants to be helped and wants to be loved. Again, that doesn't mean that she shouldn't be loved. It really means that she needs extra help because she's in this dark place. But it doesn't mean it's easy to read. And the reason I said it's unpredictable is because at one point we begin to learn things about Harley's past and begin to piece together reasons why she might be behaving the way she is, and that's unpredictable. Now, I will say that the the beginning of the book does actually kind of give some hints towards that, which is a shame. I feel like a lot of books feel like they have to give a flashback in the opening to hook you in with some dramatic reveal, but at the same time that kind of ruins the reveal later on in the book, which is a bit of a shame. But nevertheless, it's very well written. It's triggering for me, as I said. It's very difficult to read. Um, I've read over 50 foster carer books, and this by far is the one that triggered me the most. So it was very emotional, very difficult, but also very moving. Frustrating for the right reasons, for the fact that there wasn't the help there for Harley, frustrating that she wouldn't listen to reason. But at the same time, when you've been on the other side of that coin, it's really eye opening and interesting to see how other people view a person like Harley, because that's a very different perspective to what you have when you do have suicidal ideation. And I think that that's really eye opening from both perspectives and absolutely worth reading. Difficult to read, as I said, but absolutely worth persevering with. Let Me Go is one that I thoroughly, thoroughly recommend.